Welcome, everybody, to Safeco Field. Salute to Latin American baseball night as the Mariners take on the Colorado Rockies in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Beautiful pageantry before the game as we welcome you inside Safeco Field on a beautiful Saturday night. Pitching matchup, Roenis Elias for the Mariners going against Johan Flande of the Colorado Rockies, and the Mariners wearing their Marineros jerseys here tonight. Decent crowd here this Saturday night. Colorado won last night 4-2. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, and Root Sports crew on hand here. Here's the first pitch. Christian Adames. It's in there for strike from Roenis Elias. Mike Fagan's got balls and strikes tonight. Jordan Baker, the umpire, at first. Paul Emmel at second, and Jerry Mills at third.
And it's good to see Elias come right out throwing strikes with his fastball. Pretty good fastball tonight, 93 miles an hour. This year's average fastball is 92. Also mix in a changeup and a curveball. Uses changeup more to the right-handers.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Tagged by X. Strikeout. Good start for Roenis Elias. Take a look at the rest of the lineup.
For the Rockies, leading off, we saw Adames and it's LeMahieu. All the trouble is Arenado and Gonzalez. Arenado, 38 home runs. Gonzalez, 37 home runs. And you have Rosario, Dickerson, Parker Murphy making his major league debut tonight. And Barnes rounds out the 9 for the Rockies.
DJ LeMahieu, 7th in hitting in the National League. He looks at a strike.
Take a look at the numbers for Elias on the year. 4-8 record, 4.30 ERA. Opponents hitting .250 against him. He's given up 12 home runs, 11 of those to right-handers.
Fly ball right field. Trumbo's there.
We'll take a look at the rest of the defense for the Mariners. Brought to you by American Family Insurance. Gutierrez, good to see him back in the lineup. He's out in left field. O'Malley, the center fielder. Trumbo, as you just saw, in right. Kyle Seager at third. Marte and Cano playing up the middle. Jesus Montero will get the call at first base tonight, and John Hicks will do the catching.
For a while for Elias since his last victory, beat Houston back on June 19th, went 7 innings. A 5-2 victory. Here's Arenado. Spectacular year. 38 homers, 108 RBIs, number 1 both categories in the National League. Last night, 1 for 5.
He became a star in the National League last year, winning the Gold Glove as a third baseman. But this year, his number is off the chart. He's a superstar now in this game. 38 home runs, 108 RBIs for him.
2-1.
And he is a lot of fun to watch play third base. Very good defensive first baseman. Or third baseman, excuse me.
2 balls, 1 strike. Count evens at 2-2.
And we can see his home runs by direction. He's going to try to hit the ball out to left field.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Elias bouncing off the mound, feeling good. A 1-2-3 first. 10 pitches to get through the first inning. Marte, Seager, and Cruz will get things going for the Mariners. Tel Marte is going to lead things off for the Mariners. They get Johan Flande. Here's the rest of the Mariner batting order.
Marte has done a nice job reaching base in that leadoff spot, and the Mariners have scored a lot of runs because of it. Kyle Seager, his 24th home run last night. He hit second. Then it is Cruz that DH, 40 home runs on the year. Cano, Gutierrez, and Trumbo in the middle of the lineup. Montero will hit seventh. O'Malley has done a great job getting on base, including that .438 batting average. John Hicks will round out the 9-4 of the Mariners. For Flande, a 3-2 record. He's been in the bullpen, now in the starting rotation, a 4.65 ERA for him. He's given up 12 home runs this year, and 11 of those to right-handed hitters.
All one from Flande. El Sabo in the Dominican Republic. Second time the Mariners are seeing him. He got the win back on Wednesday, August 5th, the day game, getaway day game in Denver. One inning of work, and that was the game where Michael McHenry, a walk-off two-run homer, beat the Mariners 7-5. Right to the shortstop, Adames, and there's one away.
And look at the rest of the defense for Colorado. Parker getting the start in left field, Barnes in center, Gonzalez, good throwing arm out and right. Arenado, the third baseman, Adames at shortstop, LeMahieu and Rosario on the right side of the infield, and Tommy Murphy will do the catching.
Here's Kyle Seager. Big home run last night. Two-run shot in the 8th. And then what a battle he had with John Axford. Axford struck him out in the ball game. 8-pitch at bat, and it was tight, intense. Fouled off one fastball, went straight back way. He just missed it. Curveball got him.
Kyle's having a really good month of September. I mentioned the 24 home runs, 12 of those against left-handed pitching. He's really improved this year, his work against the left-handers.
There's a strike. Take a look at our Arco top performers. Other hot bats in the month of September. Along with Seager, you got Trumbo and O'Malley.
You're going to have to really like the 9 walks for O'Malley with his speed, able to get on base. For Flande, pretty good fastball. He'll average right around 91 miles an hour. Best off-speed pitch is his changeup. He'll also mix in a slider and occasionally cut his fastball.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Down 2 and full. Payoff pitch, line drive, right field, no problem. Carlos Gonzalez. We'll bring up Nelson Cruz. Back in the lineup last night, went 0 for 4. Gary Hill over on the radio side dug up a heck of a number. Cruz and Cano combined for 0 for 7. Only the third time since July 1 they both went hitless in the same game. That is some number.
Well, you see overall hitting .309 with the 40 home runs. And he has really hurt left-handers. Against lefties, hitting .358 with 13 home runs.
Monday, 29 years old, 6'2", 180. Second time facing the Mariners. First time.
Back-to-back seasons with 40 home runs. Batting average quite a bit higher this year than last year.
Very impressed by the fact that he has stayed in the top 10. There was a few days where he was leading the pack. Right now, he's 6th in batting in the American League.
I can't think of or remember too many seasons of somebody hitting 40-plus homers and hitting 300. It's a rare thing. I know that Junior used to do that quite a bit here in Seattle, but Junior, of course, the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Strike 3 called. Cruz jackknife out of the way, but Clint Fagan said that pitch got a lot of the plate. No scores. We go to the second. Good to have you with us here at Safeco Field. Dave Sims with Mike Blowers back after a night off. Good to have you back.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Good. You got to see your kid see both play some football.
They played some football, which was nice. So a nice treat here in September for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we go the rest of the way now.
This is a very interesting series here. This Rockies team can swing the bat. The pitching's not very good, but boy, they can swing.
They can, and you can see from the lineup they have some young guys in there. Murphy making his debut for the Rockies, and really for Elias, stay away from Arenado. We showed the numbers. He's given up 12 home runs this year total, 11 of them to right-handed hitters, and Arenado with the 38 home runs. To do that, he's going to have to get two guys out in front of him. But I think a better matchup probably Gonzalez than Arenado in this one for Elias tonight.
Look for Elias probably to do his drop-down pitch where he goes sidearm against lefties. There's one right there, hit right into the shift. Seager there. And there's one away. So one out. And Elias has retired the first four men that he's faced. Kids, get ready. Show off your speed when you head to Safeco Field tomorrow afternoon. It's the final run around the bases of the season. After the game, all kids are going to be invited to circle the diamond thanks to KeyBank. Get your tickets at mariners.com. Brings up Willen Rosario playing at first base tonight. 5 homers, 25 runs batted in. Right off the mass of John Hicks.
One of the things that we learned about the Rockies when we were in Colorado is a number of the guys in their lineup will turn it loose. Rosario is certainly one of them.
I think we were there about 3 years ago. He did some damage.
Yeah. That's what he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Colorado comes in second in batting in the National League, second by a run to Arizona in runs scored, first in homers, first in slugging, flip side, dead last in ERA.
That has been a problem for them for a long time.
Trying to make up for it in the strip, Mike. They've got 14 relievers out in that bullpen.
Yes, they do. See the numbers the last 3 years for Rosario. 2013, a good year for him. 292 with 21 home runs. You can see things have really fallen off for him.
Bill Kruger and I were talking about it. I know you and I have talked about it over the years. I mean, they've got enough for almost 3 platoons here in this ball club. I mean, it's unbelievable. They had to get a bigger plane for crying out loud, I tell you.
Get a few more seats out of that bullpen, too.
There's Walt Weiss, his third year. I was all over him before the game yesterday. I said, we're going to start mixing and matching in the third inning. He was off a few. He started doing it late in the game in the 8th. One reliever after another. Holy mackerel.
I can't think of a manager, if you give him all those bodies, he's going to use them.
Oh, count on it. He did go as they checked with Jordan Baker. Rosario's a strikeout victim up to third of the night already.
And we'll take a look at this last pitch. It looks like a breaking ball, 80 miles an hour, and it is. A good pitch from Elias. If you give a manager all those bodies, he will find a way to use them. And you can't blame the manager for that.
No.
Part of it is to give these guys some experience. The other part is to take a look at some guys for next year, too. And the bottom line is to win the ball game. So they're going, if you give them that many guys, then they're going to use them.
There's Corey Dickerson DHing tonight. He was in left field last evening. I think the system should change.
Yes.
The next question is, will it? Because
I think they'll make some adjustments to it. I think as an organization, it's fine to call up as many guys as you want. I think, though, you should be limited on the amount of guys that you can use on a game and in a particular night. And the reason why I feel that way is you've just spent 5 months with a club, for the most part, trying to work your way through a season, and then all of a sudden things change. And I think that you can have a club that maybe is struggling a little bit and make them a much tougher team to beat when they're going down the stretch because of all those extra bodies that they can use. So I think that we'll probably see them try to make some sort of adjustment to it.
1-1 pitch. Four-2 Rockies win last night. Chad Bettis, youngster, threw a heck of a ball game. 7 strong innings, a 3-hit shutout ball. Lee Wakuma was outstanding, and then had his hiccup inning in the 7th, gave up a 3-run homer to Dustin Garner. Big sweeping breaking ball, swing and a miss. Elias has faced 6. He struck out 4. That's a good beginning. Of Juan de Fuca, just east of Sequim on Washington's Olympic Peninsula. Off to the left, Canada, Washington. Off to the right. Robinson Cano leading off here in the 2nd inning. He got some stomach issues and certainly slowing his running down. Lloyd McClendon joking before the game, said he's stubborn. I said, I'm going to have to lock the door on him and tell him to show up at game time. But he won't let me take him out of the lineup. Maybe that's why. Deep drive. Right field. Out of here.
Whoa.
Off the mezzanine face. Out in right field. 1-0. Mariners. Robinson Cano with a home run, his 16th, his 63rd RBI. And another extra base hit. He becomes just the 5th player in big league history to open a career with at least 50 extra base hits in each of his first 11 seasons. Only Carlos Lee and Albert Pujols, Eddie Matthews, and Paul Wainer had recorded 50-plus extra base hits in each of their first 11 big league seasons.
And you can see it right there. Fastball right on the inside corner. That's been a big difference for Cano from where he started at the beginning of the year. That pitch really gave him a lot of trouble, but now he's able to clear, get the barrel to it. And that almost ended up in the cafe.
That was a bomb. Very, very impressive. Congratulations to Robinson Cano. Here we go. Career hit number 1989.
It's good to see Franklin Gutierrez back in the lineup. He pinch hit last night to getting the start and able to go out in the left field. And he has played well, hitting .311 with 11 home runs in limited duty.
Foul tips for the strike, and here's the group that Cano is a part of. Carlos Lee, Albert Pujols, the great Eddie Matthews, Hall of Famer Paul Wainer. 50-plus extra base hits to start a big league career. 11 consecutive years. great accomplishment. Here's Mark Trumbo. Excellent strike.
Mark's batting average continues to move up, hitting .263. What he's done in September, hitting .350. He has 12 home runs with the Mariners.
Foul ball.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I'll have to ask Floyd if it's even something that he would consider. But we've seen Trumbo play left, we've seen him play right, we've seen him play first. I wonder if he'll get a game over at third base just to give Kyle a day off.
Remember,
and get a chance to see him play over there a little bit.
Right, remember that was an experiment early one year with the Angels.
Yes. Good changeup right there.
3 strikeouts for Flambe. 2 away. Tomorrow is Plastics Recycling Day at Safeco Field, presented by Plastics Make It Possible. When you stop by section 128 and recycle your plastic bottle and cap, in exchange you're going to get a free t-shirt made from recycled plastics while supplies last. Montero fouls one off.
Really like to see Jesus finish strong over the next 3 weeks. 3 weeks to really make an impression. All the work that he's put in, changing his body, and the attitude that he's had has been terrific. We'd really like to see him do some damage at the plate, especially against these left-handers.
0-2. Two pitch to Montero, taken for a ball. They got away with it. 3 hits on the homestand for Jesus, 3 for 15. One full. Eight starts, 16 games in total under Flambe's belt coming into tonight's contest.
He's doing a pretty good job mixing it up here against Montero. We saw his fastball early, tried to put him away with the high fastball 0-2, but since then, a couple of breaking balls on the changeup.
Play 2. And he walked it. 2-out walk. First free pass of the ball game. A run in on the Cano home run. And now Montero at first.
And then you can see what O'Malley has done in 8 games. He also has 9 walks. So he has been on base a lot.
His on base percent at .615. Just his 9th game. Nice play out there by Adames. Flips to LeMahieu. They get the force of Montero. That'll do it. Highlight of the inning. Career base hit number 1989 as Robinson Cano bangs out his 16th home run, and the Mariners have a 1-0 lead. 1-0 in the third, and we'd like to welcome Whidbey Telecom subscribers from Whidbey Island, Washington. Thank you for rooting on the Seattle Mariners, and all of us at Root Sports and the Mariners appreciate your support. Kyle Parker, the left fielder, leads off 7-8-9. He'll be followed by Tom Murphy and Brandon Barnes. Elias struck out 4 the first 6 men that he's faced.
It has been a struggle this year for Kyle Parker. This is just his 80th at bat, but hitting 165. Three home runs on the year for Kyle Parker.
Kyle Parker teammate Brad Miller at Clemson. Rookie ball teammates with Russell Wilson of the Seahawks. He did go as they check with Jordan Baker. That's strikeout number 5 for Elias and 3 consecutive strikeouts.
Probably his favorite pitch, the curveball. He's able to throw it down out of the strike zone. Gets Parker to chase it. Good job by John Hicks. Keep the ball in front of him with a couple of strikes.
Now the major league debut of Tom Murphy, the Rockies catcher. Murphy out of West Monroe, New York. 6'1", 220. 24 years old.
And you can see he had a good year in the minor leagues. 105 games at 20 home runs.
Jay Gaynor back in '93, first year of existence. Very Rocky rookie, the homer in his first at bat. I always look for guys do what Daniel Nava did. First pitch.
It's funny that you said that, because the other day I was talking to Chris Woodward, the infield coach for the Mariners, and he said he was trying to talk Barron into doing that in his first at bat. He wouldn't ask him. He said, "No, I think I'm going to look at a couple of pitches." He said, "You only hit your first at bat just one time.
Exactly.
Turn it loose."
Yeah. Maybe swing and miss, swing and miss. He may hit a rocket.
Yeah.
Gaynor back in '93 with the Rockies did do it on the first pitch. Boy, Elias, he's on tonight. That was a heck of a pitch. He struck out the last 4 men. He's got 6 Ks as we play here in the third.
Well, and he has a good fastball tonight. This fastball, 94 miles an hour with some run to it off the outside corner. We've seen an excellent changeup from him. Picked up a couple of strikeouts on the breaking ball. But he looks like he's on top of his game. I can remember when I was breaking in and I had my first at bat, the thought of that never entered my mind.
Is that right?
No.
Just wanted to get comfortable, try to gauge the speed, see it.
I didn't know it was a big deal. You know, I just didn't
Short
think about
list.
it. And on top of that, you're nervous and excited and all those other things.
Right. Brandon Barnes, the hitter, the center fielder, entered last night's game late. Defensive replacement in left field. One on one. Good pitch.
Good changeup tonight. Again, down out of the strike zone.
Nasty pitch. He has struck out 5 consecutive hitters and has retired all 9 men that he's faced, 7 via strikeout. Not bad. Robinson Cano home run has the Mariners in front of the Rockies 1-0 as we play the home third. John Hicks to lead off, followed by Ketel Marte and Kyle Seager, 9-1 and 2. Hicks got his first big league hit in Chicago. Since then, he's 0 for his last 15. Field. Coming on to get it is Kyle Parker. And there's one down. Let's take a look at our Columbia Bank difference of the game. Take it back to the first pitch Cano sees. Boy, did he turn on that and he knew it. Look where it hits. Right off the golf performance sign out there off the mezzanine. That had to feel good. 16th homer, 63rd run batted in. Career hit number 1989. 50th extra base hit this season. 33 doubles, a triple, and now 16 homers.
We've seen him hit a couple of home runs here on this homestand on that fastball off of left-handers on the inside corner.
It was Diekman,
yes,
98.
98 miles an hour. That one 91 that he hit out today, but both of them right on the corner.
Hit pretty well, but it's going to hang up for Barnes, the center fielder. Don't forget, stick around after the game. Mariners postgame comes your way, presented by Delta Airlines. Brad and Bill will have all your postgame information coming up, and Angie Mentink will handle the postgame interviews. 2 away here in the Mariners' third. That brings up Kyle Seager, 0 for 1 with a fly out to right. That Cano home run, the only hit in this ball game. Two-0 for Kyle.
Not surprised to see him throw Kyle a changeup right there in a 2-0 count. I'm sure in the meetings they talked about Kyle being one of the really hot hitters in the lineup, and Fonde saw him hit the home run yesterday late in the ball game. They want to challenge him.
Takes a strike, 3-1. For 28 that he went through is a distant memory. He has been on fire. Entering tonight, 7 for 19 on this homestand. Here's a payoff, 3-2. Hit pretty well, right center field. Hit real well. One hop. Cut off by the center fielder Barnes, and Seager cruises in the second with a 2-out double. This is 32nd double of the season. Jumped all over. 3-1 pitch.
And we'll take a look at it. It's a changeup, 85 miles an hour. Much easier pitch to hit when it's elevated in the strike zone. Flonde trying to throw it for a strike. They left it up in the hitting zone, and Kyle makes him pay for it with that double out to right center field.
32nd double, one behind Cano, the leader, with 33. There's Cruz. Struck at it looking on a 3-2 pitch.
Kyle's batting average against lefties continues to climb too. Came into the game today hitting .313 off of lefties. Cruz hitting .358 against lefties.
He is being careful. 2-0. 2 outs with Seager at second. 2-0 pitch. Came up empty.
And again, it was the changeup down out of the strike zone. That is his go-to pitch. He throws his changeup a lot, right around 37% this year.
2-1. Boy, hit it hard. Base hit left field. Seager coming around. He's going to score, and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead. RBI for Nelson Cruz, his 85th. Started today 10th in the American League in that category, and he was wailed on a 2-1 offering.
After the changeup, tried to come back inside with the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. See Nelson really doing a good job pulling his hands in tight to his body, trying to get the barrel to that fastball. And it was a good pitch on the inside corner. But he hit it hard in the left field to pick up an RBI. No stride at all. Pitching coach Steve Foster making a trip out to the mound.
Here's Cano for the second time, led off the second inning with a home run. Ball one. Back-to-back 2-out hits here for the Mariners in the third. Advantage Cano right now, 2-0.
Fastball out of the ballpark, everything away from him. 2-0 into a breaking ball. That's a slider off the plate away.
There's a 3-0 pitch. 4-pitch walk. Good situation for Franklin Gutierrez, who struck out his first time. Second walk issued by Sunday. All this action coming with 2 down.
And that will bring up Franklin Gutierrez. Gutierrez striking out his first time up. Strikeout swing.
Two men aboard, 2 outs. Strike one to Franklin. Shading Goody to right center. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Back up the middle. And second baseman LeMahieu will take it right to the bag, get the force on Cano. Mariners get a run on 2 hits, leave a couple. Played 3. It's a 2-0 lead for Roenis Elias. Seattle Mariners baseball being brought to you by AM/PM. Too much good stuff. By BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. And by Clearwater Casino Resort. So many reasons to come out and play. At more than 5 miles in length, Dungeness Spit is the longest natural sand formation in the United States. A little touring here tonight. Beautiful Saturday evening. Linus Elias, 9 up, 9 down with 7 strikeouts. And all of them swinging. Top of the order, Christian Adames. With base hit, right field. Adames playing in just his 10th game.
Elias not happy, ended up leaving a changeup up and in the middle of the plate.
Lead hit for Adames. Good looking athlete.
It's interesting with all the strikeouts for Elias. Again, 7 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. You look at the Rockies with all the great offensive numbers for them. They're just 6 and 25 against left-handed starters this year.
I know, I saw that. There's a bunch. They have some numbers that are just flat awesome, and others like, what, really?
Shake your head a little bit.
Oh, 2 to LeMahieu. Flied out to right his first time up. Marte and Cano double play depth up the middle. The 0-2. Angels lead Houston 2-0 in Anaheim, bottom of the 3rd. Up the middle. Cano, flip to Marte. Yes, sir! Beautiful.
Well, we've seen Cano make this play quite a bit. Right back up the middle of the backhanded play. Shoveling on over to Marte. And a good adjustment by Marte, spinning around. There's a look at the flip. A little bit easier than taking it out of the glove, certainly quicker. And you'll see Marte come across it with his foot on the bag. Nice little spin and a strong throw to first.
He was all business coming out of that spin.
He has to be at his back to the runner, so well done.
No lollygag in there. You're going to like that. Here's the ball hit to center field. Coming on. Good closing speed by O'Malley to make the play. Economical inning for Elias in the 4th. Gives up on what proves to be a harmless base hit. A sparkling double play and a good hustle play here. A good closing speed. McClendon talked about how he is very impressed at how O'Malley has been playing in center field. The American League East, the Blue Jays having a good day. They're about to win a double dip from the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. If they hold on and win this second game, they're going to be a 4.5.
And in that second game, the Blue Jays putting 10 on the scoreboard. The Yankees trying to get back in it, though. They're in the 8th inning, and the Yankees now have 7 runs, so a little bit closer ball game.
Since July 1, Blue Jays 31-9. Tulowitzki had a crack in his shoulder, a collision in the first game, so that could be devastating. As once he got over there, man, he's really started to jump. There's Trumbo 2-1. Here's a question for you, Mike. As good as the hitting, the hitting's been ridiculous with Toronto. Pitching, is it enough? Because in the playoffs, good pitching going to really get after good hitting.
Yeah, I think that when you look at it, if you have David Price at the top of your rotation, you have to feel pretty good about that. And your pitching doesn't have to be great with the way that they score. And I think that they're still going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. I mean, you look at that lineup, they're going to have 3 guys with 40 home runs.
Correct. Towering pop right field for Gonzalez. Take a look at Geico, this state in MLB history. Yes, got hit number 3,000 back in '79. And the Dr. K, Dwight Gooden, breaks the big league single-season rookie strikeout record with 251. And did he have this baseball in the city of New York buzzing that year?
I don't know how many times that year watching him pitch, being amazed by it, but one of the greatest curveballs you're ever going to see, and just buckling right-handed hitters with the curveball.
The classic 12-6, right?
And a good heater, yes.
Right. So good luck, right?
Good luck.
There's Montero walked in a 3-2 pitch. He charges this one up center field and deep. Got carried. Giddy up. Gone. He got it. Jesus Montero with his 3rd home run. And the Mariners lead at 3-0. That was impressive. They hit it straight away over the 401.
And he did it on a changeup, it looked like. It's an off-speed pitch, 84 miles an hour. Watch him go out and get it, square it up. Dead center field. We were talking about during his first at-bat, as you see Barnes trying to bring it back in the ballpark and can't get there. Him showing some things here over the next 3 weeks. He'll be trying to fight for a job going into spring training next year, and it'll be important for him to have a lot of success against the left-handers. And that swing will certainly help him.
O'Malley looks at a ball, 1-1. That's a big boy poke right there.
And again, here you go. You can see it. 84 miles an hour.
One-two pitch here to O'Malley. Put in play. Here's Arenado. And gets away. O'Malley going to get the second. Thinking about third. He's going to go. He's going to give it a shot. Here's the play. He's in safely. Good wheels by Sean O'Malley. He's at third with 1 out. They said E5.
Talked about Arenado earlier in the game winning the Gold Glove, so a rare error for him. And I think, again, directly at the speed of O'Malley, reaching out front, so he's already has a little bit of a head start moving to first. And right there, a little double clutch, and then rushes the throw because of his speed. He will pick up a base hit. The error is because the ball gets past the first baseman and moves all the way around to third.
He did a good job looking and then checking with Rich Donnelly. And he's at third with 1 out.
And the Rockies will bring their infield in.
John Hicks lined out to left first time up. Mariners with a 3-0 lead. A run in each of the last 3 innings. Suicide squeeze. It's a beauty. Hicksy gets it done. 4-0. Mariners. Tried it a couple of nights ago, and it was just perfect.
Well, and it's good to see a couple of the younger players pull this off, because there's a lot that goes into a squeeze play. First of all, Hicks cannot square around too early. He waits late, then just put the ball in play. It doesn't have to be a perfect bunt. He ends up bunting it right back to the pitcher, which is fine. And as the base runner, you cannot leave too early. If you leave early, somebody's going to yell, and they'll pitch out. So well done by O'Malley and Hicks to pick up another run. And congratulations, his first career RBI.
Second base hit since his call up. That was special. David Hale warming up, one of the 14 men in Weiss's bullpen. Top of the order in Marte, 0 for 2. Up out of play.
It's really been a lot of fun to see Marte and now O'Malley in the lineup. Really have so many different options when you have that kind of speed running around the bases. And these two guys, you look at the club right now and their ability at averaging 5 runs a game. I think it's directly to Marte and O'Malley, and they've been on base a lot, and they cause so many problems because of speed.
And last night, Mr. Jones made some solid contributions, going 2 for 3. Looked good, too. Hustle double, ball a trickle off the glove of the shortstop, kept on going, got a double out of it. Get him hitting. Wouldn't be a bad thing to see those 3 guys as regulars in the lineup.
I think that Lloyd would have a lot of fun with that. Those guys get on base consistently, put the game in motion. Again, a lot of different things that you can do with them because they are so athletic.
Takes it first, 1 out. Throw over. One-two pitch. He rips this one, and it goes foul. Marte lined out to short, flied out to center. One-two pitch. Bouncing ball, foul. Arenado throwing error, big help to the Mariners. Getting O'Malley to third, and they were able to score him on a suicide squeeze. 1-2 pitch, back up the middle, base hit for Marte. Hicks will hold at second. 4th hit of the inning.
Then another good at bat for Marte. 6 pitches in the at bat. It's a fastball out over the plate and hits it hard back up the middle. Fouled off a number of pitches before he finally picked up the base hit. Now we'll bring up Kyle Seager. Kyle's 1 for 2. Hit a double his last time up. Out into right center field and scored a run.
4-0 Mariners. And looking for more. 1 out. Runners at first and second. Popped it up. Infield fly roll in effect. Second baseman LeMahieu for out number 2. Gives Cruz a chance pick up another RBI, drove in a run with a single on a 2-1 pitch in the third after striking out looking in the first.
And it looks like we're going to get a pitching change.
David Hale's going to take over. Face Nelson Cruz, 2 outs and 2 on, and a big moment in the career of David Big Papi Ortiz. We'll show you that when we return. Red Sox ball game, first inning. David Big Papi Ortiz with a medallion that would look good as a hubcap, wouldn't it? It's career home run number 499. And then in the 5th inning, there it is, number 500. He got it off of Matt Moore, 27th member of the 500 home run club.
All the big hits he's had for the Red Sox over the years. What a milestone to get to 500.
Yes, indeed. He is an icon in the city of Boston. Welcome to the club. Not bad for an old guy. Look at that, 275, 34, and 95. Remember, he told me a couple, 3 years ago, they got nobody to replace me. I got to stick around. Nobody in Boston's going to beat that.
I think he still enjoys playing the game, too.
He does. I love how he works with the young guys. He says, I'm going to still come out and kick your butt, but I'm rooting for you. Let's see what Cruz can do against David Hale.
David Hale, 12 appearances on the year, ERA over 6. Opponent's hitting .293. He's given up 12 home runs.
Two out, 2 on, 2 runs in.
And the Mariners tonight, 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. That one base hit was Cruz his last time up. Driving in Kyle Seager after Kyle hit a double line drive into left field.
One pitch here from Hale. Two and one. Cruz second in home run to Chris Davis. Second in slugging to Josh Donaldson. Got an impressive resume this year. 2-1 pitch. Hit it hard. Slicing drive. Cargo makes the play. That's outstanding. Carlos Gonzalez took away extra bases and 2 ribbies from Nelson Cruz with a wonderful diving play. Do or die, and he made it happen. Nonetheless, the Mariners have a good inning. A couple runs on the board, extend that lead to 4-0. Mariners fourth with his third home run straight away center field. That was an impressive blast. Then the suicide squeeze RBI for John Hicks. Mariners got 2 runs on 4 hits, benefited from an error and left 2. 1-hit shutout through 4 for Elias. Strike 1 to Gonzalez. Made the fine catch, saved extra bases and saved 2 runs. That diving catch in the top of the bottom of the 4th.
Mariners have the shift on with Gonzalez hitting. Kyle Seager on the right side of the infield.
They got him a lot on that pitch and breaking balls when we were in Denver in early August.
Well, and you could see Elias' first pitch fastball over the top, and when he went to throw that breaking ball, dropping down sidearm. And again,
stayed with it. Got him on 3 pitches. Elias has struck out 8. We're in the 5th inning. Let's take a look at our Coors Light cold hard facts. A few minutes ago we showed you Big Papi hitting career home run number 500. The next closest guys, Adrian Beltre and Miguel Cabrera. One guy, if he could stay healthy, you might like his chances at age 25. Giancarlo Stanton and Trout and Harper. Pop's just getting going. They might be the next 2 that have a chance, but that's not going to be a big list the way it looks right now.
No, it's not going to be. I think the 2 youngest guys have probably the best chance.
There's Willen Rosario. Stan could ever stay healthy. He changes some equations, doesn't he?
And that's really starting to become a big if.
Yeah. He gets Gonzalez on 3 pitches, now behind 3-0 here to Rosario. James Paxton to get the start tomorrow. Haven't seen him in a long time.
Hopefully he will throw the ball well tomorrow, but the biggest thing, walk off the mound healthy when he's done.
Amen and roger that.
Elias has really had excellent command of his fastball tonight. We've talked about it with him in the past and repeating his delivery, and he seems to be on point with it tonight. You see the 8 strikeouts, 3rd time this season, and again just in the 5th inning.
Rosario, the 3rd strikeout victim. That was in the 2nd inning.
Well, after falling behind 3-0, able to get back into the count 3-2. We'll see what he wants to throw here.
1 base runner, and he was subsequently erased in a double play. There's your 2nd base runner, 1st walk. Next Tuesday is Cholesterol Awareness Night here at the ballpark, presented by AstraZeneca. All fans 18 and older are encouraged to take advantage of a free cholesterol screening and receive healthy heart tips. Screenings will be available until 8 p.m. Here's Corey Dickerson, the left fielder. Struck out in the 2nd. 8 Ks, 1 walk, and just 1 hit given up by Elias. Madison Bumgarner has retired the first 15 men he's faced at San Diego in a 4-0 lead. Check that. That's against San Diego. It's in San Francisco. That pitch is working for Elias.
So difficult for the left-handed hitters because he has a good fastball, and again he's topped out at 94 today, consistently 92 to 94 mile-an-hour range. And when he drops down that front shoulder for a left-hander, starts to leak out of there, and then you're done with the breaking ball.
Stayed with it. Cano will get the 1 out. Moving up to second base, Willen Rosario.
So the Rockies going to get their first base runner in scoring position tonight.
Wrap it up tomorrow. Kyle Kendrick goes against James Paxton, who makes an appearance, working his way back from blister, and a torn fingernail has kept him out of action for a long time. It'll be just his 11th start of the season. Talking about Paxton, his first since coming off the DL. He went on the DL back on May 29th.
Kyle Parker, strikeout victim his first time up.
2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Bouncing ball goes to Marte. And a nice inning for Elias. Through 5 with a 1-hit shutout. And it's a sparkler, 4-0 Mariners. % or more on car insurance. By Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Jack in the Box. If the Mariners win, mention Mariners for a free Jumbo Jack with purchase tomorrow at Jack in the Box. George Vancouver named Dungeness Spit in 1792 after Dungeness Headlands in Kent County, England. Our tour this evening. Here's Cano. First pitch. Drives it left field. Right at Kyle Parker. 1 away. Cano 1 for 2 with a walk and a home run leading off the second inning. First pitch swinging off of Johan Flande, the starter. This will be the third batter faced by reliever David Hale. Came on to get the final out of the 4th inning. First time the Mariners are seeing Hale. Hale turns 28 years old later on this month. He's out of Marietta, Georgia, 6'2", 210. Trade from Atlanta, January of this year. Goody drives one right field. Carlos Gonzalez watches it leave the ballpark. Home run, Goody, and gone. His 12th home run, 31st RBI, and the Mariners have a 5-0 lead. How about this guy?
Well, it's one of those things, too. You look at the numbers, that is 12th home run, as you mentioned, Dave, but his ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark going the other way this year, when he was healthy and playing every day, I don't remember him having that kind of power, but he's done this quite a few times this year.
This is straightaway right field.
Yeah, fastball right in the middle of the plate. You take a look at our Alaska Airlines Supermo, and the swing by Gutierrez really does a nice job staying behind it and driving it out that way.
At the Grand Slam in Detroit, right center field. He had another big moment with the game winner. I think it was right center, a little bit towards the Root Sports side.
Couple to dead center.
Yeah. Goody came in slugging .636. 0-1 to Trumbo.
And you'll take a look. 5 home runs to dead center field, but 3 opposite field home runs for him.
Good work.
Really good.
5 runs on 7 hits for the Mariners. 3 home runs. Cano, Montero, and now Gutierrez. The count now 3-1 for Trumbo. Bouncing ball, Arenado, nice play. 2 outs. Bouncing ball had some juice to it. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. 5-0 lead. Mariners are running the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 here in the fifth.
And they've hit 3 home runs tonight. One of them belongs to Montero. Hit a home run to center field on a changeup.
1-0 pitch, hit it straight away. Jesus, his 3rd home run, extends his hitting streak to 3 games. And ball to Adames. And that'll do it. Highlight. Goody with a blast to right field. His 12th homer of the season. And the Mariners lead is 5-0 over Colorado. have a 5-0 lead. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag RTNWDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Good night for the Mariners. 3 home runs. Cano, Montero, and Goody. Cruz drove in a run with an RBI single and a suicide squeeze, successfully laid down by John Hicks, counting for the 5 Mariner runs. Elias taking care of the rest. Little squibber here. He bobbled it, missed it, base hit.
Ball was spinning like a top out there right off the end of the bat, and maybe being just a little bit too quick. And it looks like this will be an error on Elias, but this ball spinning sideways, and you can see him right there trying to use his glove, but didn't let the ball get into the glove.
He won.
A little bit surprised to see that. He's such a good athlete.
Right. The hitter's Brendan Barnes. Each team with an error. Arenado.
We talked a lot about the offense tonight, but Elias, 8 strikeouts through 5 innings.
2-0 to Barnes, who struck out. He was the 7th strikeout victim. Elias retired the first 9 men that he faced.
His first 3 innings, one of the more impressive starts to a game that we've seen this year. You mentioned retiring all 9, but also striking out 7 of them.
That's tremendous. .30 pitch. Last time out Monday, September 7th, 3-0 loss to Texas. Elias threw the first 5 innings, had a 2-hit shutout with 6 Ks. Then had problems in the 6th. Beltre got him for a 2-run single, and now here's a 4-pitch walk.
After the aerodynamic compounds the problem with a walk.
Second walk, and he's allowed.
And Rick waits quickly out of the dugout. Trying to get him focused back in. Make sure that he's not thinking about that error.
Yeah.
Have to put that behind you. He's throwing the ball so well tonight. And now he has a good lead, and the last thing you want to do is start walking guys, helping them get back in the ball game.
Not this team. The way they can swing it.
And you're only a couple of hitters away from getting to the trouble in their lineup. Arenado and Gonzalez. Adames, the leadoff hitter, going to step in. He had a base hit his last time up. You see the numbers for Elias. 63 pitches.
Rockies number 2 in batting average in the National League, behind the Giants. All 1 to Adames, who's struck out. And he got the first base hit of the evening for Colorado, leading off the 4th. Now we can't find it. 2-0.
David Rollins. Kensing getting loose. We've seen this before with Elias too, where he's pitching really well and all of a sudden he'll have an inning where he kind of loses it.
It's the game exactly. That last game against Texas, classic example. Don't let this be your midnight inning, but it's certainly turning out to be. Either way right now. 4-pitch walk to Barnes, and now he's way behind it here at 3-0.
And Hicks making a trip out to the mound. He's just trying to buy some time for the bullpen. Guys just starting to get loose out there. A quick visit.
This has had plenty of offensive help tonight. 5 runs on 7 hits for the Mariners through 5. Scored in their last 4 innings. On deck hitter DJ LeMahieu.
A pretty good pitch.
Didn't get it. So an E1 on Elias, and then he doesn't throw a strike for the next 2 hitters. Bases are loaded. Not a good situation. Nominate your favorite plays of the week by tweeting us using the hashtag RootFanFave. Each month, one lucky fan's going to win a Coors Light Refresherator just for participating. For official rules, visit rootsports.com. Situation like this, you don't want to make these guys feel like they're back home in Coors Field. Because in that ball, we certainly know in that ballpark, they're a different club. Seems like they could snap their fingers and put 5 up on the board.
Absolutely right.
Nobody out, bases loaded. A little slow roller. Here comes Marte. They get 1 there, and that'll be it. Run scores. As they get Adames. Fielder's choice RBI.
And a good play by Marte to get the runner at second. Keep the double play in order. I think another good pitch right here. He can get out of the inning. Tough hitter, though.
Over to third goes Barnes. Runner takes off for second. Hicks on a transfer. Came out of his hand. Stolen base for LeMahieu, his 22nd.
And Lloyd McClendon out of the dugout. He is going to make a pitching change.
Well, the first thing that probably came to his mind, you didn't pay enough attention to that guy at first. You're losing your focus. You're out. I think it was brilliant through 4 and even through 5, but the 6th inning was costly. Leaves with a 5-1 lead.
On Root Sports, a terrific matchup between Montana State and Eastern Washington. A great game between these clubs a year ago. The Eagles won that one, so the Bobcats looking for some payback next Saturday in Sheedy. We hope you'll join us for that. A 1 p.m. Pacific time kickoff. The night is over for Rowanus Elias as we send it back upstairs to Dave and Mike.
Hi, Tom. Good to have you with us. And Elias, this is what he did. Gave up just the 1 hit, and then the thread started coming apart here in the 6th, Mike.
5 in the 3rd. You mentioned the 1 hit. Already given up a run. 3 walks for him. 8 strikeouts. 70 pitches. 43 strikes overall. Is responsible for the 2 base runners. So you're right. It's little things from time to time. And did you look at the number for Logan Kensing? Those little things and making that simple play, the error, hurt himself. And then after that, as you mentioned, 8 straight balls after that. So it looked like it was going to be a really nice evening for Elias, and ends up getting cut short as Kensing will take over.
Stolen base didn't help either. I don't think he paid too much attention. Lloyd saw that. You're done. Runners at second and third. 1 out. And a 1-0 pitch here to Arenado. Tough hitter. Tough hitter indeed. Leads the league in home runs and RBIs.
And you can see what he's done this year with runners in scoring position. 362 batting average with 11 home runs.
Dangerous intent on that swing. Carlos Gonzalez on deck. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and strikeout.
Michael Whitebay getting loose in the pen for the Mariners.
Three and 1. He's come back with a quality pitch here. Lefty swinging Gonzalez. Next up. Important pitch at 3 and 1. High fly ball, deep right center field, going back Trumbo. That'll pick up a run. Scoring easily is Barnes. Tagging and going to third is LeMahieu. Coming up in a pregame show tomorrow, a long conversation with Edgar Martinez and Carlos Gonzalez. Gonzalez talking about how patterned his swing after the great Ken Griffey Jr.
And we're going to have another pitching change.
He wants a lefty to face Carlos Gonzalez, the second leading home run hitter in the National League. See what gives here with David Rollins entering the ball game. Popular way to follow the action of Mariners baseball is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcasts, and more. Get the MLB.com at bat app now. Dave Sims and Mike Flowers with a good crowd here Saturday night in Seattle. David Rollins takes over.
16 appearances for him, 0-1 record, ERA over 8, 20 strikeouts in 22 innings. See the 8 walks. Want to stay away from the walks in this situation, and a tough hitter. Carlos Gonzalez stepping in.
5-2 ball game. Runner at third, 2 outs. Same pitch Elias struck him out on in the 5th. 3 of them. Just like that.
Probably stay with that slider off the plate away. Hasn't shown that he's going to lay off of it. Right back out there again. There it is.
0-2. Marlins way ahead. Laid off it. Gonzalez went 4 for 13 against the Mariners in Denver in early August. 1-2 pitch. It's this to Cano. Rockies get 2 runs on no hits and error and leave them in. It's 5-2 Seattle. Take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Wrap up the series with the Rockies, then the Angels come to town. Travel day on Thursday, and then the start of the final road trip of the 2015 season. It has come to that, Mike.
Yes, it has. Last trip.
Here's Sean O'Malley. Infield base hit. Got the third on the throwing error by Arenado, the third baseman. Scored on the suicide squeeze, laid down perfectly by John Hicks, who's up next.
For John Hicks, his first RBI. And O'Malley, every game that he started, he has some sort of impact on the game.
That play we just talked about, scoring, getting a third, scoring, and then he made a heck of a catch too.
Yeah, diving catch out in center field.
He's going to be called up in early June, right around the time Willie Bloomquist got hurt, and then O'Malley got hurt, sliding into second. Messed up his left wrist. 3-2. Hale on in relief of Johan Flande. Came on to get the final out of the 4th inning. Big swing and a strikeout. O'Malley's gone. Hale's first strikeout. Come catch Felix and the Mariners take on Mike Trout and the Angels this Tuesday at 7:10. Watch the Mariners ace toe the rubber from your seat in the King's Court. Tickets are only $25 and available right now at mariners.com/Felix. Felix will be going for win number 18. Strike one to Hicks, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Madison Bumgarner, perfect through 6 against San Diego. Check the box, see if he got a couple of hits. They can swing it.
If they ended up scoring, he may have hit a home run too.
Bumgarner 0 for 2 at the plate. At the plate as we speak. 2 balls, 2 strikes. John Hicks and then Ketel Marte. Full count. Bumgarner now 0 for 3, just struck out.
With what he has going on tonight, maybe he just doesn't want to run the bases.
Solid call, probably in his thought process. Strike 3 call. Hicks gone, 2 outs.
Couple of strikeouts for Hale. And John thought that pitch was down. It's definitely on the plate. Take a look at this 91-mile-an-hour sinker. Good job by Tom Murphy making his major league debut behind the plate to frame that pitch.
Mariner home runs tonight. Cano in the 2nd, Montero in the 4th, Goody in the 5th. Big part of the 5-2 lead. Other RBIs by Cruz and Hicks. Mayhew and Arenado drove in runs for the Rockies. Here's Marte. Oh and 2. Ball 1. Comes the 1-2 to Marte, 2 out. 2-2. Since coming on, Hale giving up the home run to Goody, and that's it. Struck out 2.
Hale, he has a lot of movement on his fastball. Good 2-seamer. The last one looked like it was going to be on the corner, and you can see where it ended up. Well off the plate away because of the run.
And Marte's gone. That'll do it. Good inning for Hale as he strikes out the side. 7th inning coming up. Mariners lead 5-2. of the game. Who is it? Who's it gonna be? Here's the reveal. Christy Goings. A great shot of you two. Thanks for submitting your photo, making it a part of our broadcast. Logan Morrison's going to take over at first base for Montero. And the new pitcher, Danny Farquhar, fourth pitcher tonight for the Mariners.
For Danny, 33 appearances, ERA over 5, 34 strikeouts in 38 2/3, 17 walks. Again, he'll want to stay away from the walks here. Opponent's hitting 276 against Danny. Good fastball. He'll be in the low to mid 90s with his four-seamer. Also use a cut fastball, 12-6 curveball, and a changeup.
Well, and Rosario will lead it off, followed by Corey Dickerson and Kyle Parker, 5, 6, and 7. Rosario tonight is struck out and walked.
This is an important inning for Danny. Get through this inning, then you can turn it over to Carson and Tom. It's a breaking ball, 78 miles an hour.
It was a big part of the success last year for the Mariners. They either maintained a lead or kept the deficit at 1 or 2, whatever it was, kept it even. Huge part of last year's work, and earlier in this year that wasn't the case.
No, it wasn't the case. And just a few days ago I was talking to Lloyd about his bullpen, and Tom has been on a really good run. Of course, everybody likes Carson Smith, and he said we just got to find a couple of guys to help me get to those guys, and Danny can be a part of that. He's certainly done it before.
1-2 pitch. Did he go? Did not, says Jordan Baker. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In perfect world, you don't want to have to use Carson Smith and more than a night at a time, or more than 3 outs. 4 and 5 outs.
What you want to do is you want to get him out there to start an inning, a clean inning, and let him do his thing, get the 3 outs to move it on to Tom. That's the ideal situation, but we've seen so many times this year, because it's been a struggle, that he's had to come in the 7th inning and get 4 or 5 outs. And then when you do that, your pitch count goes up, and then he's not available the next day.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Willen Rosario playing at first base.
Good four-seam fastball up out of the strike zone at 94 miles an hour.
Mariners started the scoring in the 2nd inning for Lloyd McClendon's ball club. Robinson Cano leading off the 2nd homer off the middle deck out in right field. Added another run in the 3rd when Cruz knocked in a run. 4th inning, a Montero home run. Strike 3 called beauty. Nice pitch by Danny Farquhar.
Pretty good battle, but he's able to put him away with the good curveball at 77 miles an hour. And we'll take a look at it. No argument right there. Good pitch.
Mariners got 2 runs in the 4th inning. Home run by Montero and a suicide squeeze by Hicks, and then Goody hit a home run in the 5th. There's Corey Dickerson, strikeout and a ground out the 2nd.
And Joe Bynum starting to get loose.
Dickerson batting in the 2-hole in last night's game, went 2 for 4. Find some space out there, left center field. O'Malley, see the arm, and it is not in time. That was one thing Lloyd McClendon was talking about here today. Wanted to see how O'Malley threw as an outfielder. Certainly likes his speed and his range.
And he usually gets a pretty good jump, and that was a fine play right there. A little bit wide of second base. And they get plenty of arm strength on it if it's on the mark. Like a changeup, 86 miles an hour. He gets over there, able to cut it off, and quickly gets it back in. Unfortunately, it's a little bit wide.
There's Kyle Parker, 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out. Strike one. Just the second hit for the Rockies. First hit was back in the fourth. Damas got it. He was erased in a double play. Oakland leads at Texas 5-1, top of the eighth. End of 6. Angels at home lead Houston 2-1. Danny with another strikeout. Fine pitch. 2 away. Keep your eyes on the bus. Make sure you follow us from a safe distance on Twitter at Sound Transit. Here's Tom Murphy. First night in the bigs for Murph. Led off the 6 with a little scribber off the end of the bat that Elias couldn't field. Came in E1 and started the beginning of Elias's undoing. After that, 8 straight balls. Fielder's choice RBI. Sacrifice fly. And a couple runs on the board for the Rockies. Two outs and a 1-1 pitch. It's been working well for Danny.
Yeah, he has a good curveball going for him tonight.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Fell back.
And that was his best fastball. I think he wanted to throw a little bit higher. Right around the top of the strike zone at 95 miles an hour, but a good fastball from Danny.
One-two pitch. Blocked by Hicks. 2-2. At second is Corey Dickerson. 2-2 to Tom Murphy, who hails from West Monroe, New York, just north of Syracuse on I-81, central New York. Two and two. Struck him out. Danny Farquhar gives up a double to Dickerson, but gets a K on Rosario, Parker, and Murphy. Coming up for the Mariners, there you have it, Kyle Seager, Nelson Cruz, and Robinson Cano. The big boys, 2, 3, and 4. Mariners lead 5-2. stretching your mind as you consider how a Washington's lottery win would change your bucket list. Play today. Strait of Juan de Fuca extends nearly 100 miles into the interior, with Vancouver Island on the north bank and the Olympic Peninsula on the south. And the Olympics are on the left in the picture, and Vancouver Island straight out in front. Curtis Wilson in a terrific tour. Folks at National Geographic are envious. David Hale continues.
He's throwing the ball well tonight. Pretty good sinker at around 91 miles an hour. Mixed in a curveball and a changeup.
Struck out 3, giving up 1 hit, a home run to Goody in the 5th. There's Kyle Seager. Kyle tonight 1 for 3, a double in the 3rd, and has scored on the Cruz base hit.
And congratulations to Kyle's brother, his younger brother, Corey. Hit his first home run for the Dodgers tonight.
Nice. Very nice. Seager Foundation. Got some folks up in the 3rd base side. One of the suites. One. Seager, Cruz, and Cano here in the 7th. Mariners with a run in the 2nd, 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. 3 home run night. Cano, Montero, and Goody. Three and 1 here. Perfect game being thrown by Bumgarner in the 7th. There's a line drive, base hit, right field. 3-1 pitch. Jumped all over it. 2-hit night for Kyle Seager. Seager continues his hot, hitting 2 for 4. He's 9 for 23 in the homestand.
Well, the way he's been going, 3-1 count, 89-mile-an-hour fastball in the middle of the plate. He's not going to miss it. He lines that one into right.
Rex Brothers heating up. Look out.
Carson Smith getting loose in the Mariner pen.
Nice work by Danny Farquhar.
Yes.
1 hit, struck out the side in the 7th. Hale got Cruz to fly out to right to end the 4th inning. That was Hale's first batter. Here's the 0-2. Drive deep to left. Carrying and go. Oh, stick, baby. Another home run for Nelson Cruz, his 41st. A career best. And it ties Chris Davis for the American League lead. This guy is something. Ties him for the Major League lead as well. Nelly Cruz, 2-run homer, 41st homer, and RBIs 85 and 86, and the Mariners have a 7-2 lead. Some good 2-strike hitting.
Stayed with the off-speed pitch, and although it was down, it was right in the middle of the plate. He golfed it out of the ballpark. Watch him go down and dig this ball out, down, right on the barrel, head right there. Great swing.
The Mariners 4 home runs tonight. Rex Brothers, somebody said incoming. What a magnificent year he is having. And today is only the 12th of September.
See, he's tied Chris Davis, Major League lead. He sit out almost a week, didn't he?
Yeah, 6 days.
6 days with the quad.
Some kind of player. 7 runs, 9 hits, an error for the Mariners. 2 runs, 2 hits, and an error for the Rockies. Probably fooled on that one. 2-2. Two Mariners, another multiple run inning. Got 2 in the 4th, they have 2 here in the 7th. Adames throws out Cano. One away here in the Mariners home 7th. How about Goody? Minimum 125 ABs. His slugging percentage second only for Bryce Harper. That's been a major league lead. Number 2 in that category. Good stuff.
And we'll see if he can add to it as he steps into the batter's box.
1-0 pitch in the 5th inning, and homer to straightaway right field.
Frankie Gutierrez, he's really been a good story for the Mariners this year. Had to battle his way all the way back. We saw him in spring training. I wasn't so sure at the time if he was going to go to AAA, but put up some numbers, and here he is, and you can see his numbers here. Limited playing time, but a .311 batting average with the 12 home runs.
That's foul. Goody 1 for 3 tonight. Pretty good, 12 home runs and 135 at bats.
Very good.
Ball 2-2. Long year for Walt Weiss. Last place in the National League West. Count goes to 3-2. Fine shortstop in his day. Walt Weiss. 3-2 pitch. Right to Arenado. Boy, got it on the butt. Tough break. 2 down.
And we're back to the breaking ball.
Good crowd on hand here tonight. 24,743 watching the Mariners lead at 7-2, bottom of the 7th. 4 home runs tonight. Cano, Cruz, Gutierrez, and Montero. Jumbo tonight is struck out, fly to right, and grounded out to third. The chant Trumbo Jumbo down on the third base side.
Logan Morrison waiting on deck. Logan came into the game as a defensive replacement for Montero at first. So he's waiting to get his first at bat.
3-0. Pitch. Takes for ball 4. 2-out base runner for Logan Morrison. Time for a Lexus pitching matchup. Seems like a while ago because it was Flande and Elias. Flande was out before Mr. Elias. Elias shut out ball through 5, and then things came apart for him, and Lloyd came and got him. But he's in line to get the victory this evening. When we come back, James Jones, he's going to be running for Trumbo, and we'll get a new picture. Rex Brothers for the Rockies. 5,743. Hey, the next time you catch a Mariners game here at Safeco Field, make sure to meet everyone's favorite mascot, the Mariner Moose. It's going to be hanging out in the Seattle Children's Moose Den, located on the main concourse in center field. Stop by and say hi.
Rex Brothers is going to take over the left-hander. Only 7 appearances for him, 5 2/3, 1 strikeout, 5 walks. He can get wild. He's hitting .263 as James Jones came on as a pinch runner for Trumbo. And Logan Morrison going to get his first at bat of the night.
Inside Deloma. 1-0. First is Jones. Good night last evening for Jones. Couple base hits. 2 for 3 night. Brothers out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 27 years old. To Morrison. Good count to go crazy for Lomo. 2-0. Broken bat. Look out in the crowd. Oh, my goodness. Everybody's okay as Lomo's retired. Cruz with a 2-run homer. His 41st, a career best, and he's tied for the Major League lead with Chris Davis. And the good news, the Mariner lead is now 7-2 as we head to the 8th. Discovered it in 1592. Most historians, they discount this story and credit the English ship Imperial Eagle as the first European vessel to enter the strait in 1787. And I'm told the water is not as warm as it looks. New left fielder, it's going to be Sean O'Malley, moves from center to left field. Taking over in center field, put me in coach, James Jones. And in right field is Stephen Romero. And a new pitcher is Carson Smith.
As we expected, 62 appearances, a 2.66 ERA, 78 strikeouts in 61 innings. Good number for him. Their opponents hitting just 202 off of Carson.
Brandon Barnes looks at a strike. Brandon strikeout, walking run scored tonight.
Well, Carson Smith, good fastball. He'll be in the mid to low 90s with it. Best pitch is his slider. And there it is. He'll work in a changeup against left-handed hitters.
Madison Bumgarner in the 8th with a perfect game in San Francisco against the Padres. Here's the 0-2. Barnes to be followed by Adames and LeMahieu. 1-2 pitch. Foul back. Salute to Latin American baseball night with Marineros on the chest. Hicks holds on to that foul tip. Barnes is retired. It's 3 consecutive hitters retired or struck out by Mariners pitching. Tune in tomorrow, noontime. New episode, Mariners All Access. Get exclusive player interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and Mariners stories you can't find anywhere else. For a local programming schedule, visit rootsports.com. Top of the order, and Christian Adames.
Just told it. Melvin Upton Jr. pinch hit single off of Bumgarner, so it's over. That happened in the 8th inning.
Looks right now, Felix Hernandez remains the last man to have thrown a perfect game. It's 15-2012. Thrill that was. 2-0. Lomo, nice play. Well done all around by Logan Morrison and Carson Smith getting over the cover.
And that's the reason why Lloyd McClendon put him in the game as a defensive replacement in the 7th inning. And really has had a fine year defensively as you take a look at this diving grab. And you're absolutely right. Good job by Carson to get over there.
Quick 2 outs in the 8th. Brings up DJ LeMahieu.
And a good fastball from Carson at 95 miles an hour. He has good stuff tonight. I mentioned it earlier, but really nice job by Danny Farquhar tonight too. Really threw the ball well. Gave up a base hit, but also had 3 strikeouts in the 1 inning that he pitched.
Good confidence builder for him coming down, going down the stretch.
Had really good command of his fastball and his cutter. Great curveball tonight.
Sin Cruz, home run number 41. Ties for the big league lead. That's his 15th here in this building. Castro warming up. Miguel Castro. 14 arms out in that Colorado bullpen. Chopper up the middle. Gets through. CenturyLink, what's next? Brings us Kyle Kendrick of Mount Vernon High School and the return of James Paxton. Went on the DL back on May 29. Strained tendon, left middle finger. 3 rehab starts in Tacoma. 0-1 with an 8.10 ERA. Should get about 3 more starts here after tomorrow. pitch, James?
I think it's important that he gets back on the mound before we get into the winter. Give him a chance to pitch in a few ball games.
Owen Arenado. They get 0-2. 2 outs, 1 on here in the top of the 8th. Two outside. So the National League home run leader. Two out, man aboard. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. He knew it. Carson Smith with a couple strikeouts. In the 8th, a harmless base hit. Mariners lead at 7-2.
Cruz both going yard tonight. The Mariners in control against the Rockies. Here's what's coming your way on Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines. We'll hear from the skipper Lloyd McClendon. Clubhouse reaction, Bills keys to the game, and some baseball history made by Big Papi down at Tropicana Field as we send it back upstairs to Dave and Mike.
Tom, thanks so much. Lloyd McClendon, gotta love what he has seen tonight. 4 home runs by his ball club.
And some really good work from his bullpen. Elias was outstanding through the first 5. Made an error at the start of the 6th inning and kind of lost it after that. And then he came out of the ball game, but the bullpen has really pitched well.
Rafael Yanoa. He's the new third baseman in for Nolan Arenado. We were telling you at the beginning of the game last night. And thanks to Gary Hill for this. Cruz and Cano hitless together for only the 3rd time since July 1. They're 3 for 7 combined tonight.
And the numbers for Castro, just 3 appearances, 3 1/3 for him. Opponent's hitting .286. He's giving up a home run.
Here's O'Malley to lead it off.
Pretty good fastball at 96 miles an hour.
O'Malley tonight is 1 for 3 with a run scored.
After 96, came back with a pretty good changeup. 86 miles an hour on the changeup.
Two outside. All 2 strikes. Took him out. One down here in the bottom of the 8th. He hit long and lean. He can throw it up there, can he?
So far, we've seen 96 out of him, so it looks easy. John Hicks going to step in. Gone 0 for 2. He does have an RBI.
Big pop. Yanoa does not have a play.
Well, since the Mariners are up 5 runs, Joe Beimel getting loose in the pen. Joe.
Hicks with a perfect suicide squeeze. Places one to right field. Backs up Gonzalez. Took him to the track. For 2 outs. Perfect suicide squeeze. Back in the 4th inning.
And then that will bring up Marte. Patel 1 for 4 tonight. Had a base hit back in the 4th inning.
Marte. The base hit this evening. A single to center in the 4th inning. Facing 6'5", 190-pound Miguel Castro out of La Romana in the Dominican Republic, same town that produced Fernando Rodney. Kid's only 20 years old.
That's a great arm.
Turns 21 on Christmas Eve. Game over from the Blue Jays. And that Troy Tulowitzki or Troy Hawkins deal. One and two.
Yeah, with a good fastball, pretty good changeup right there when he decides to finish that pitch. Changeup really has some nice downward movement to it.
Ball, good one, real good one. 1-2-3 inning by the youngster Miguel Castro. Top 9 coming up. Gonzalez, Rosario, and Dickerson coming up. The top of the 9th inning. Make sure you join us immediately following tonight's Mariners game as Steve Zacchione shares some tips on the trade on a new episode of Sounders FC All Access. For your local programming schedule, visit rootsports.com.
Joe Beimel going to take over. 45 appearances, 4.5 ERA, 19 strikeouts, 16 walks in the 40 innings that he has worked. Mariners have the shift on with Gonzalez stepping in.
Carlos 0 for 3, ground out the third, a strikeout, and a ground out the second. Sweeping breaking balls have been a problem. Marte throwing out, one down. One out here in the 9th. Outstanding offensive night here for the Mariners. 4 home runs.
And Tom Wilhelmsen playing some catch out in the pen just in case.
Rosario struck out twice and walked. Drives this one left field. One hop over the fence, ground rule double.
Back-to-back changeups. Rosario, a change of bottom of the strike zone, but in the middle of the plate.
12th double of the season.
Bring up Corey Dickerson. Corey is 1 for 3 tonight with a double. He had a double his last time up in the 7th inning. And there's Tom. Really been throwing the baseball well lately.
Good night offensively. We're talking about the Mariners. Second half of the season averaged 4.8 runs here in the second half of the season after beginning 3.5. Nice pickup. First pitch here to Dickerson. Ball 1.
Rockies are 0 for 5 tonight. Runners in scoring position. They're able to score both their runs in the 6th inning without a hit.
Back with the strike, 1-1. Top of the 9th, Mariners with a 7-2 lead. One out runner at second. Slow breaking ball. Dickerson gave up on it. All in 2 strikes. Joe trying to put him away here. Sneak 89 by him.
Constantly changing speeds, locations, a variety of different pitches for Joe.
Pro's pro.
Yeah, you can throw them all for strikes.
Joe's ready with the 1-2 pitch to Corey Dickerson. fouls it off. Big 4-home run night by the Mariners. Oakland Gutierrez got one. Cruz got one, his 41st. Cano and Montero also checked in. Home runs. Here's a 1-2 pitch again to Dickerson. Got him to chase it. Tagged by Hicks. 2 outs. That's 11. How many is that? That's what do we have?
14 or 15
strikeouts. Yeah.
14.
Carson Smith got 2. Right. That's 14. Two-out runner at second. Kyle Parker. Beimel will cover the bag. Lomo throws, and they got him. And the Mariners win the ball game 7-2. Even the series in a game apiece. A 4-home run spectacular tonight. Cano, Cruz, Montero, and Goody playing long ball, and it worked out big time.
Elias didn't get as deep into the game as he would have liked, but he will pick up his 5th win of the year, and a great job by the bullpen tonight. Pretty good hitting ball club. They were able to hold down, and as Dave mentioned, a lot of home runs to give them some run support.
Go for the series win tomorrow afternoon. Hope you join us then. 2 hours 30.